It's been a while. This water system has been working to a acceptable level. There's no overflow, so I've been turning the valve on top of the hill every other day, every 2-3 days, and I can get this filled up fairly quickly within 1 minute, 2 minutes. I can't leave it on really longer than that because it'll just drain the spring box at the top, but it's good for to fill 2/3 of the tank. Anyways, I've been thinking about this a little more, and I think inevitably I'm gonna buy another bigger water storage tank that is not cylindrical, but it's gonna be kind of squarish. So when I put the bulkhead fitting on that one, I have a better chance that it's gonna seal, because right now I'm trying to put a flat seal on a cylindrical object. So I think that's a part of the problem. But before I go in that direction and buy that storage new container, I want to kind of exhaust what I can do with this tank, because that will allow me to, I'll be able to learn basically. So basically I'm gonna be able to find out what kind of seals work best in this kind of situation. Is it silicone? Is it something else? I don't know. The silicone, food grade safe silicone, came in the mail, so I'm going to be applying that right now here, and we'll see how much that affects the leakage. Hopefully it seals it for good, but not holding big hopes for it, but we'll give it a shot. The thing I was actually noticing as I was talking about that is if you look at that white pipe and then you kind of look at the lines on the rocks, that's basically flat, and it's kind of hard to see on the video, I think, because this video lens is kind of spherical, but the overflow is sloped up. So basically when the container fills up, it's going higher than it needs to in order for the overflow to work. So basically that creates more pressure on the bulkhead fitting, and that can cause more of a chance of leakage. So I think what I'm gonna do is shorten one of these pipes, or I think the easier way would be to just push the part on the ground over there out the door more, and hopefully that'll lower the straight one, and then we'll seal that, and then we'll turn the water on and see if the leak stops. Let's cross our fingers. So lowering that pipe was much easier than I expected. Basically, I had put this piece of rope cord here to hold up the PVC pipe, but basically was tugging at it too much and caused the upward slope. So right now, from the drain, the overflow, down to the 45-degree angle connector, it's going all downhill. Now we'll put on the silicone. All right, so unfortunately I tightened that nut too hard and I heard plastic crack. I'm guessing something in the fitting cracked. Just for the heck of it, I just put silicone around the whole thing anyway to see if it's strong enough to hold it. I think I might have a chance if the water doesn't go high enough to create too much pressure around the fitting. But I think the next time I do this, I don't know if I can even really do it, but with the way the fittings are designed. But if I can have, right now this fitting is pointed slightly upward, but if I can drill the hole so it kind of goes in that direction, that might help. But I think this container is kind of a lost cause, but I'm still going to experiment with it because I just need to know what works and what doesn't. And the only way to do that is to fail. We're gonna see if that works with just the silicone, and then we're gonna go buy another fitting from Home Depot, which, if you remember, I returned it because I couldn't fit it through this hole. But now this tank is kind of experimental tank anyway. I'm gonna make a bigger hole on the top so I can get the bigger fitting in, which will actually fit the whole size. Yeah, that'll be the next experiment. But let's see if this silicone does what it is supposed to do. All right, so I have some good news and bad news. I think it's more good than bad. I found a puddle. Which is not good. But the good news is that the silicone has stopped any water from leaking around the overflow pipe. However, where the water is leaking from is this hole up here. So for some reason, water is not going into the overflow pipe, which I have no idea why that is, but it's like almost 11 p.m. so I'm gonna basically shut the water down and figure this out tomorrow. That's really puzzling to me why water wouldn't be coming out of there. Very strange. But we'll figure it out. Okay, so I kind of created a mess, but the best I can tell, what was happening was that this pipe was still sloped up too much. I moved the pump from this side over to that side, which was kind of an ordeal by myself. But basically what was happening was this pipe was, even though I tried to move it lower, it was sloped up too high and there wasn't enough water pressure to push it out. The quick fix right now, I mean, I really should cut it and redo it, but this is not my permanent system. I don't want to spend a ton of time on it, so I just move the pump around, and then I'm basically, instead of hanging up my pipe, I'm pulling it down with that string, and the water level is now like right around there, which is halfway point. Ooh, I saw a little leak. Where's that from? Yeah, it might be leaking. I'm not sure if that's from that hole and all the movement that I was causing, or it's actually leaking from the silicone. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. But it's not a lot of leakage. We'll have to see what happens when I turn the water back on. I can't do that right now because my driveway is getting put in. It's getting started today, which is very exciting. And the water pipe from the spring runs right through where they're gonna put in the driveway. So basically, as you can see, I had to rip out the water pipe from the spring. I had already dug into the ground. It was only buried like 1 inch or 2 inches deep, so I ripped it all out. The guy who was doing the driveway, he wanted the truck and I didn't want it, so I just gave it to him. Here's the Kubota skid steer. The brakes on the F-250 were totally locked up. There's a steamroller. There's my tractor, my Subaru, and the disgusting RV. Yeah, the wheels were brakes were locked up, and as he was pushing, like, it was just dragging on the ground. Yeah, so I can't fully test my overflow until my driveway is done. It's a small price to pay. Yeah, we got a fully functioning water system, although a bit ghetto right now. Theoretically, this will just keep running without me touching it at all. So kind of excited about that.